In 2026, Alton Towers are going to be opening a brand new roller coaster, and it's one of the biggest roller coasters I've ever seen, with one of the world's longest layouts, one of the world's fastest layouts, and tallest. That one doesn't make sense because it's Alton Towers. You're not going to believe the layout of this ride. Coming to the hit thrill area in the park, Cbeebies Land, is this wonderful looking roller coaster. As you can see, that grey line, yep, the one that literally goes round in like a semicircle-esque shape. That's the roller coaster. Sorry to disappoint, but of course, family rides are very important, so I do respect the fact they are building this. So much so that I thought it'd be interesting to try and recreate it in Planet Coaster 2. Well, I say I thought about it. I said 1,000 likes and I would do it, and we reached way over that goal. So thank you, but yeah, here I am today building this coaster in Planet Coaster 2, and if you want to see more stuff about this new coaster and the new ride coming this year, then be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. It'd be massively appreciated. So here we are on Planet Coaster 2. You thought this was going to be a time lapse? No, I've got big globe, and I am here in real time. And we're going to make our park. I'm going for, I don't even know which one to do, probably temperature. That one. Now we need our park name. Obviously, Alton Towers. Yep, good spelling. Short roller coaster. World's shortest, you know. It's very short. And here we go. We're loading into the game now. I'm actually excited to build this because I feel like it's going to be the longest recreation I've ever built. Sod 13 or the Nemesis Reborn recreation. No. We're all about the Cbeebies Land 2026 ride. And here we are then with a fresh park. All these guests waiting to come in. Oh, they don't know what's waiting for them that's about to be built. So right, I need to get up my plans. Well, I say my plans. I didn't create them. The Alton Towers plans that were submitted. If you're unaware, we got an entire look at loads of different planning application stuff. The sort of footprint for where it's going to be. They submitted the layout of the track. That looks extremely exciting. It even shows little theming structures and the queue line and surrounding area. So we're going to be using all of that to our advantage in making it. But I think the best way to start with this is the queue line. So if we go over to the queue line path tool here, there's actually 3 queues on this map. There's a green, yellow, and a red one. I'm not too sure what they all are, but I'm literally just going to follow along with that map and just sort of go with the flow. If all the queue lines aren't working, who cares? And as much as the 3 different queue lines is a bit confusing in itself, I'm building the yellow one currently. Just getting that shape right, yeah, straight there. It's sort of like those 3 queues. 2 of them are just outside of the coaster, which is fine. And the other one just takes up so much more space and goes into the old coffee corner seating area outside, which you would assume is the main queue line, and it makes sense because the more area the merrier. But Postman Pat was such a big ride. What just happened with that pathway? I'm not having that. That just interrupted me speaking. Let me just get this right. Come on. No. Oh, there we go. And we can just go on. No, we can't. Right, fantastic. Oh, there we go. Oh my god. Of these pathways. Sorry. Postman Pat's such a large area, and to see this kids coaster be such a short layout, and for the queue to have to run all the way over to where Corner Coffee is, it's pretty crazy. I'm surprised they didn't run it under the ride and round it and stuff, but fair enough. I mean, it could be to do with the fact that there's a load of theming pieces in the middle of the ride layout. Maybe that's why. That probably is why, and that's why the queue is so random and long. I'm struggling, even though it's the shortest queue line ever, but we're coming up to a point where it should just loop round. Yeah, here we go, we are looping round. I've predicted the future there. Ignore the fact I'm staring at plans on the right-hand side of my screen. But you'll see when I close this up in a second that there's just some patches in the queue that are just left plain with Why? On the plans, there's some just plain yellow patches between different parts of the queue. Maybe we'll see some theming there, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's just not on the plan yet. Although they've added the other theming. So, oh, what could it be? But yeah, this queue is, I don't know why it's taken me so long and why I'm doing it so precisely. But I'm trying my best. I don't even know what length to go for. It's not even curving enough. Why is it not curving enough? That'll do. I'm sticking with that. There we go. And this bit's quite a speed run section because it's just 90-degree turns and straight. So I could just place it now. There we go. Straight. And then if we go along, I don't even know how long to go. about that. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. And then we just sort of line it back up with this bit and then curve it back down again. I'm actually a master of the final straight. I can't believe it. It's finally complete. That's champion, that. Now we have finished the entire queue sections. I'm not too sure if I'll include that pathway in this because I was just silent throughout the whole build of it. If we go across quite straight there and then diagonal cross. We need to make a bush now. We need to make some topiaries, like the box style hedges that you have, because that's on the plans. That looks like Alton Towers. Yeah, we don't need that. That is literally the perfect one going by the plans. It's literally just some sort of box hedge thing that's right up against that pathway that I presume will be the disabled exit. And then it goes along right side of the lift hill of the shortest roller coaster ever. And it looks quite nice like that. I need to put some trees behind because on the plans there's these little circles for green trees. And I'm going to put them in here. There's probably too many that I've put in, but there you go. I've put the trees down. Although I feel like the pathways and hedge needs to be longer. These plans are really skewing my brain. That's more like it, I think. I think that's a lot better of a length to have that pathway and those hedges. I never thought I'd be a hedge enthusiast until today. But there are still a lot of different green circles around, especially in the middle of the queue. So I'm just going to place these bushes here because I reckon there will be a tree or two. But I like the idea of having them more low to the ground. And what just happened? Couldn't click on the tree and it's crashed my game. Oh no. I have my fingers crossed for the power of autosave, because if not... Okay, right, we're fine. But look, what? The tree's gone. I couldn't click on the tree and then I clicked on it and it crashed. And now... What? But if I do some epic magic on the pathways and just wave my mouse... Are you ready? Here we go. Whoa. Okay, that actually looks a lot nicer than the white that was there before. But yeah, it looks like a proper queue line now, and I'm really happy with it. It looks like it could fit quite well into Cbeebies Land. Now, I have added some more bushes and a pathway outside the front just because, you know, it has that. And there's also a sort of theming structure on the left-hand side over here. And again, not too sure what this is. I assume if we are going for that Bluey theme that everyone thinks it's going to be, it might be some sort of like house or like entrance bit or like a photo op with them characters. Again, don't quote me on that. I am not eating my shoe if that happens. But for now, I'm just going to build this sort of outside bit. We can see the shape of it. It's quite a tall structure, a square structure. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. It looks very out of place, but when we find out more about the theme, I'll change it. I promise. It's time for some fence work. We love fences as well. Not only am I a hedge enthusiast, but also a fence enthusiast. And I think if it is going to be a Bluey theme, then they're not going to have the fencing around the area be blue. They're going to have it orange, I think anyway. So we're going to use these resort fence panels that I've sort of combined together and sort of duplicate them round the site of the ride. And as soon as we put this final one in like so, that's enough angle, I think. There we go. That is that section of the site fenced off. So in the game, you can't exactly merge like fast track, main queue, etc. You can't merge them together yet. So what I've done is this ramp section that's on the plans where obviously the queues merge and you go into the station. I'm just going to have one of the ramps go into the wall. And that is not by choice, that is because of the game design, sadly. And from the plans, the station, of course, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. So I'm just going to be using this generic warehouse-looking material for the walls. And if we go across a little bit here, the gap for the coaster to come out is very close to that hedge. So I think about there's perfect, I reckon. And then we put the overhang above, so you're not just, you know, going straight into a wall like you already have in the queue. But this building has loads of different parts to it, and it's not exactly the most complex building of all time, but it looks like a decent sized station for what could be a very small coaster. Well, what is going to be a very small coaster. But the exit of the coaster out of that station is of course aligned with that hedge, but the other one is over here, which I sort of need to move this out of the way and actually duplicate it over and do it that way. But yeah, you come in and I assume you'll do a turn into that station block. Unless you do a massive helix and 14 inversions before you go into the station, I don't know. But now we have the basic shape of the station, it's time to actually place down the coaster station. And I presume the only one we're really going to be able to use in this is probably the junior coaster, wherever that is. I think, there we go. We're going to be able to use this one. As much as Bluey isn't a dragon, it's probably the only option we've got at the moment. But if we move this around, it should be central to that sort of exit there. And then we've also got to move it forwards. And that should be about perfect, I reckon. There we go. We did the queue at the start, so I'm just putting in the exit now. And it literally just goes down here and then like down again, it seems, on the plans. And then we just sort of continue a bit straight. That bit will actually go under the coaster. And then we'll go up some stairs on the other side. So it should literally take us just to the other side of that fence when I continue the fence along. And there we go. I have completed that exit pathway. It's a little bit skew-iff on the other side nearer the actual plaza, but oh well, it's the game, not me. And now we're going to do some station stuff because I need to make the maintenance bay that's on the plans, and it's sort of in the back corner of this building. And yeah, that feels like it's going to be really boring, so I'm just going to skip it out. Final roof panels going in, and there we go. That is the maintenance bay and station. It looks a little bit too large, but I'm happy with it. Let's build the coaster now, I say. In the plans, it does show just sort of a straight track going this way, which you would assume might be a launch or a lift hill, but I'm going to build a lift hill. So if we bring this up slightly, should this be steep enough? It looks too steep, maybe. Yeah, no, 30-degree lift hill, that's more than some thrill coasters. You can see on another plan in the plans that is a lift hill structure going upwards in that sort of grey line you can see amongst the buildings. So I think it's definitely going to be a lift hill, and that's why I'm building that. If we then curve it to the right, which is where it's going to go, it's the only way it really can go, and on the plans it's the way it goes. We sort of have a tight turn here, and then it definitely sort of shallows out a little bit and goes this way like so. I feel like that's too tight of a turn though. How's that going to reach over there? No, that's way too far away from the fence. I don't think that's right. No, it's not right. I'm trying that again. It goes over that little meeting point of the fence right there. So I'm going to try and do that and curve it down. And then it definitely shallows out, like I said. And we should look better this time. Yes, this is a lot better. And then we should be able to maybe go into an airtime hill here. I don't even think it will have any airtime on it. It's probably too slow. Just a little hill. And then round. This also doesn't feel diagonal enough. Diagonal. No, this needs to be more diagonal. Third time lucky then. We're going for that shallow turn again. This is the joys of recreating, you know. With a lot of the time-lapse stuff, you don't get to see this. And I know this is the stupidest one to do a full real-time video of, but it's also one that won't be boring. So, why not? And I hope this has given you an insight to how difficult recreating can be. There might be some brakes here on the actual ride, but I don't think it's going to have enough speed to actually warrant those brakes being there. So I think we're just going to go for the turn back into the station nearby that fence there and go straight in like so. I have to make sure I'm actually on the right level, otherwise, again, you're just going to go straight into a wall. And hopefully I can auto-complete it. There we go. Oh, that is a tight turn. Here we go then. It's going up the lift hill. The Dragon Bluey coaster. It's going to turn right. I'm not... Surely it's going to be so slow, right? Wow, look at that drop. That could probably go a bit more down towards the ground. Okay, nice little hill. And then... oh, that... yeah, that turn. Oh, my God. And then we go again. Woo! I've gone for the back row. Ignore the station and how it looks. I'm going to get absolutely whipped over this lift hill. Here we go. Whoa! Going past whatever that theme instructor is. There's going to be a few theme instructors throughout this grass bit here. And then back into the station. And then lap 2. Oh my God, that has so much speed going up into the lift hill again. What's going on? And yeah, dropping down once again. It looks like a fun ride. I assume it'll probably have a little bit more of a drop and maybe a couple more little hills or something than what I've created here. But we'll find out in due course. As you can see, guests are absolutely loving it. Look at their reactions. Wow, down that first corner. They all look so content. Over the airtime hill, any of them gonna put their hands up? No. God. Oh, they put their hands up towards the end. And yeah, that is the Alton Towers 2026 roller coaster. What a fun ride that is. I hope you enjoyed this recreation. Part 2 soon. Subscribe. Bye-bye.